Hello, and thank you for attending today's webinar titled Focus BI, Business Analytics for Infor Distribution ERPs. My name's Jared Gator, and I'm a marketing coordinator here at Aktion Associates. But before we begin, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping notes with you guys. So at the bottom of your screen, you'll see multiple widgets, which you can move around and resize to customize your viewing experience. For example, if you'd like, you can enlarge the slide area by clicking the arrows in the top right-hand corner of the widget. If you do have any questions throughout the duration of this webcast, though, feel free to submit them within the Q&A widget. We'll do our best to answer them during the webcast itself, but if fuller answers are needed, please note that we will be recording them and answer them after the session's done via email. This webcast is being streamed through your computer, smartphone, or tablet, so there is no dial-in number. For best audio quality, please make sure that your speakers or headset are turned on and volume is up. Some networks cause the slides to advance a little bit more slowly than others. So if you're connected via VPN, it's recommended to disconnect from that throughout the duration of the webcast. You can also try refreshing your page by pressing F5 on your keyboard if the slides are out of sync. We do encourage you to use the most current version of your browser just to ensure that you have the best, most optimal experience today. You can also find additional answers to some of the common technical issues found inside the Help widget located at the bottom of your screen on the On24 toolbar. And just a final reminder that this webcast is being recorded, and you'll receive a copy to the link later this afternoon via email. With all that being said, though, I would like to go ahead and introduce you to our presenters today. So we have both Rob Dallas, he's a senior distribution solutions consultant here at Aktion, and we have Christine Martin over at Focus as well. She's joining us for the majority of our session today. She's going to be our senior partner alliance manager over at Focus. As far as the agenda is concerned for today, though, we're going to talk about Aktion and Focus, talk about why we have that relationship with them. We're going to then go into how data analytics work, business and individual benefits for stakeholders, how data analytics can adapt and grow your business, and end with a Q&A. So I'll stay about the last 5 minutes or so today's half-hour session for that. With all that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and pass the things over to Rob. So Rob, whenever you're ready, please feel free.
Thanks, Jared. I just want to take a couple minutes here to introduce Aktion. If you're not familiar with our company, and if you are, give you an update. We've gone through some growth as well. I'll introduce or explain the partnership or why we think you should consider and look at Focus, and then I will pass it over to Christine. Currently in Aktion, we're over 200 employees. We are a national ERP software reseller focused on the architectural engineering, construction, real estate, distribution, and manufacturing industries. We have 2 company-owned data centers. We are number 16 on the top 100 VAR list, and in 2023, we won a top workplace award. With our Infor partnership, we are Infor's largest distribution partner and a 25-year running gold partner. The reason we have looked at outside analytics or reporting tool is because we realize that many distributors want to leverage or extend their ERP system, right, and be able to use it longer without having to go replace it, thinking they need a new core system, when really just some additional tools can get the information that they're looking for. So we chose Focus because of their power of analytics and the ease of use of creating reports, but also in the content that they have. So day one, you're not starting with a blank slate. You get a set of built-out dashboards and reports, and then of course you can expand on those from there and do save as or create your own ad hoc report, whatever it is that you need. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Christine and let her give you a brief demo of Focus. Christine?
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's get this over. So a little bit about Focus before we get started. I won't spend too much time here because I really want to spend most of our time talking about Focus itself. So we have over 300 employees worldwide. We are in Australia, New Zealand, UK, and several offices here in the United States. And Focus at its core started out to be a business intelligence, a data analytics tool. Our customers came back to us and said, you have all of our data, why can't we do financial reporting with your system? So with the help of our partners like Aktion and our customers, we rolled out financial reporting several years ago. And those same customers came back and said, this is great that we can do all of this, but our budgeting is still in Excel. So again, working with our partners and with our customers, we rolled out 2 years ago our budgeting and forecasting capabilities. We'll save the financial reporting and the budgeting and forecasting piece for another time, but definitely wanted to put that out there. So we've got more than 100 customers in the Infor space. We've been working with Infor customers for more than 10 years, and we have pre-built solutions and integrations for Infor products, but also 200 other products as well. So let's jump into this. Let's make some sense of data. And to me, data is like Legos, right? You've got all of these different colors, these different sizes, different shapes of Legos, and it really doesn't mean much when it's sitting here in a pile. And you could bring in Legos from another set, maybe the Star Wars one or the Friends one. You could bring in all of these bits and pieces of Legos together. But in order to do something with it, you have to sort them by size, by shape, and then you start to arrange them, and then you put them together so that they give you something that is visually appealing, but then at the end, it explains a story. So again, I can bring in all of these different Lego pieces and build this beautiful house. So that's just my kind of analogy, if you will, of how Legos are like data analytics. So who can benefit from data? Well, in our mind, anybody can benefit from data. If you think about it, data touches every aspect of our life. And when I first joined Focus, they gave me an instance of Focus and said, hey, go build yourself a database, build some dashboards. And I'm a state and local tax person. I thought, oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm doing. But Focus has built this platform that is super easy to use. And this simple state and local tax person was able to bring in my weather. I live in Montana, my weather for the year, my electric bill for the year. And I was able to build a pretty simplistic, obviously, database that showed when the temperature goes down, my electric bill goes up. But that was really the purpose of using Focus, was to make it an easy tool for people like me to be able to not just build a database, but to build dashboards, to build reports without having to rely on the IT folks. But then think about all of the other pieces of data that you have, right? Accounts receivable, they need to be able to see which of the credit managers are issuing credit to customers that aren't really good at paying their bill. The operations people wanting to be able to track overtime, who's not working 40-hour work weeks, who's not working full time every month, every quarter throughout the year. You could also look at it on the purchasing side and the sales side. Every person within your company has the ability to utilize data from Infor and other sources as well to help your business grow. So how has Focus done this? Well, first we start with this analysis piece. And if you look at this, and I'll show it to you here shortly, it's the grid. And it's the power of the grid that makes this super easy to use. I can look at numbers. I want to be able to see the details of what those numbers are. But I also want to be able to look at it in such a way that I can visually, very quickly, determine what's going on with my business, whether it's sales, operations, purchasing, inventory, AR, AP. And that's where these visualizations come in. I can start in the grid, and with a click of a button, I can change it to a visualization. And then I can add all of these visualizations and the grid into a dashboard that makes it really easy to consume and share with others. And then on this far right-hand side, we have Database Designer, which is what I use to be able to build my weather electric bill database. And it's a simple drag and drop. I don't necessarily have to know SQL queries. I really just have to know how to drag things and what it is I want to filter by. And this to me, it's like Focus is the center of the universe, right? Focus is the core that can store all of these disparate pieces of data. And obviously we've got the Infor piece in here, but imagine being able to bring in HubSpot data, Salesforce data, even Microsoft Excel files. All of these things can be brought into, and here's my play on word, they can all be brought into Focus. One of the sessions that I went to my very first month at Focus was led by our customers at our customer user group. And these customers talked about the really cool things that they themselves did with Focus. One of our customers was able to bring in call detail records from their company-owned cell phones and their VoIP office phones. They brought in CRM data. they married all of this information up to sales, and they were able to see how much time they spend on the phone with their customers that don't buy from them. And conversely, how much time they don't spend with their largest customers. Some other things that people did was brought in personality profile tests that they had all of their employees take. They were able to see which personalities excelled in specific roles. So as they went out to hire people, they had people take personality profile tests, and they were able to see if they would typically exceed and excel in those jobs if they came to work there. So what they found was that it helped their recruiting fees drop by about $100,000 a year. So I want you to think outside the box. While we talk about these pre-built integrations for Infor, you could bring in any other data whatsoever. VoIP, call detail records, trucking data to be able to look at how much time people are spending driving and delivering things. Think about that UPS survey of not making left turns. So you're not limited to Infor data. There's no additional cost to bring in other pieces of data. Focus becomes this center of the universe. If you're converting to Infor from something else, bring in that legacy data into Focus, because then you can layer the Infor data on top of it, and now you've got a central source for all of your historical reporting. Maybe it makes the Infor implementation go a little bit faster. So everything that you have, Excel files that you're creating, they can sync into the Focus tool and update periodically. I want to jump in and show you what Focus is like from a usability standpoint. So let's share my screen. And in a second here, Focus is going to open up. And this is what we call the home page. In this home page, I can see all of these databases that have been created. So with the Infor products, we have a standard solution that has pre-built databases. We know what those fields are in the Infor products, and we have built databases to be able to accept those fields from Infor. So there's no building of a database that needs to happen. So that's a time saver right there, right? There is a tool called Sync that will do just that. It will sync data from Infor over to Focus and populate these databases with all of that data from Infor. Not necessarily 100% of the data from Infor, but that information that's useful to you. And it's these databases that drive everything else within Focus. If I jump into a sales database, here you'll be able to see what I referred to earlier as the grid. On this left-hand side are dimensions. Think of these as ways that I can search for something. If I want to be able to search sales for rolling 12 months by sales rep, I can do that. And if I wanted to see, oh, Judy seems to be doing pretty well, I can highlight Judy's name. And again, here's my play on words. I can focus in on Judy and see what product category Judy sells the most. And I can see that Judy sells an awful lot of illumination. But now I've got dynamic data that's updating frequently rather than exporting information from an Excel spreadsheet that doesn't update itself. So let me reset this, but I want to show you something that your sales team could use to make an immediate impact on sales potentially. So let's look at our product categories. And I can see for rolling 12 months, let's change this. I want to look at from January 2022 for my demo data to November 2022. So now I can see all of my sales invoices for January 22 to November 2022. And let's look at illumination. And within illumination, I know that people typically buy this product and this product and this product all together. So again, I'm going to focus in on those. So I want to be able to see who's buying one, but not the other. So if I put this in what we call matrix mode and then go to the customers, I can now see which of my customers are buying one but not the other. And let's filter this down a little bit. I want to see everybody that isn't buying that one, and they're also not buying this one. So now I've got a pretty comprehensive list of which of my customers are buying these brass fixtures, but not the other two. I can export this to Excel. I can send this off to the sales rep. Let's even add the sales rep in here as well. So I can send this off to Laura and say, hey, Laura, here's some quick wins for you. Call your customers, find out why they're buying one of these, but not the other two, because these are typically all sold together. Maybe it's because we're not shipping them fast enough. Maybe our prices are too high. Maybe they're getting a rebate from somebody else. But this is a great opportunity for the sales team to be able to reach out to their customers. You'll notice out here, these look like hyperlinks. And when you click on it, it actually can take you to a customer scorecard or accounts receivable for that customer as well. This customer scorecard happens to be a dashboard. And these dashboards are pre-built. You can certainly add to the dashboards. You can create your own dashboards, whatever that may be. And a couple things on these dashboards. Here you'll notice as I move my mouse around, there's different, I'll call them reports. We call them widgets too, but I can now see that this relates to a specific customer, what their year-to-date sales are, what their year-to-date profit is. If I scroll down, I can see their open AR. It looks like they've got some money that they owe us from more than 3 months ago. I can look at the types of products that they buy. Imagine being a salesperson. You're sitting outside your customer's office. You're getting ready to walk in to have your annual business review with them. This is a great thing to be able to share with them. So while these dashboards, I can see them here, you do have the ability to share this dashboard outside your organization through what we call an external link. So again, maybe you're getting ready to go meet with this one customer and you want them to be able to see the exact same things that you're looking at. You can share this dashboard with them through what we call is this external link. They can't drill down into the details, but it gives your customers visibility to the same things that you're seeing about them. Now, let me take you back up. I'm going to go back to our home screen and I'm going to go to dashboards, and we've got pre-built dashboards available for you as well. And I'm going to take you out to this executive dashboard. Now, remember, these dashboards are built using information in all of those databases that we had talked about originally. Now, wrap your head around all the things your boss asks you for every day, every week, every month, or every year. Rather than them asking you for those reports, why not create a dashboard for them of everything that they want to see that they just keep asking you to produce frequently? So in this case, in our dashboard, we've got the sales headlines where I can actually see the sales trends. I can see my customers. I can see the products that are growing the fastest compared to last year, my profit, my sales, and then I can switch from sales into operational and KPIs as well. So these dashboards can have more than just sales on it. You can have inventory, you can have purchasing, AR, even financial statements as well. And being able to add to a dashboard, let's come out here and let's do another query. And I can look at my sales dashboard and I want to see my sales reps. I want to see the total for rolling 12 months, my top 4, and what those product categories are that they're selling. From here, by clicking save, this report that they ask me for all the time can be added to their dashboard once I put in a name for it. We give you the starting point for these dashboards, but allow you to add what's important to you or other users within your organization. And I know our time is short, so I just want to touch on alerts. Let's say that you want to know when your customers stop buying from you. You don't want to wait till the end of the quarter to realize, hey, these 5 customers used to spend an awful lot of money with you, but they have dropped off by 10, 20%. Usually that's an indication that they're going to stop buying altogether from you. You can set up alerts within Focus that say, hey, when the customers stop buying, let me know. It'll send you an email giving you that alert, but it's also out here on this home page. And you can see all of those reports that are available to you, all of these alerts. And if you click on it, it will take you into that database to show you who those new customers are or whatever it is that's about that alert. So alerts can be set up. Remember, they're emailed to you as well. If you don't want to wait for an alert to happen, you could say, hey, you know what? I want to subscribe to this report. And I want to get this report whenever it's on red, yellow, and green, but I want it daily, and I want you to send it to me at 9 a.m. And I want it as a CSV file. Any report that you can create out here within Focus, you can set it up so that it's emailed to you. So it's no longer waiting on the IT team to generate a report for you. You've got the ability to do it yourself. And to me, it's like following your train of thought. I wonder how Judy's selling. Who is she selling to? What products is she selling the most? And it's literally just clicking on buttons. You can't change anything in here. The numbers are what they are. They're coming from Infor and whatever other source you have linked into Focus. And along with alerts, we also have bookmarks. So I may go into this sales report or this sales database all the time. Rather than looking through those databases that exist, I can quickly bookmark it and it's available for me up here. If there's a favorite report that I go to an awful lot, I can certainly check the add to bookmarks as well. So rather than filtering through the favorite reports, it's just available for me at these bookmarks. So hopefully you've got this idea of how you can look at your data a little bit differently. It's not a standard Excel file that's only as good as the time that it was run. This is changing based on the frequency that it's looking to Infor for updates. And I can easily change what it is that I want to see. I want to see not just the value of what's being sold, but I want to see the profit that's being sold. All of this information available at my fingertips allows me to follow my train of thought and get to information that will make me much more productive, which in turn makes my company much more profitable as well. I talked briefly about financial statements. I want to just give you a quick look at those. Because we're capturing every single transaction and every journal entry that's available within Infor and whatever source you've connected Focus to, we give you the ability to customize financial statements. You could have 3 versions of a financial statement. They're still going to have the same bottom line. I can't change those numbers, but maybe I've got a version of financial reports for my executives and one for my frontline managers. I've got the ability to do that. So here I've got a profit and loss, and maybe I want to be able to look at a P&L by branch. I can look at my retail and online sales by branch, be able to compare them to each other. I could even say, hey, let's look at this by category. And I can drag my category up here as well and be able to see all of this information at my fingertips. I can add KPIs to this. If I come out to a balance sheet, you'll be able to see that I've added calculations to a balance sheet to be able to show my current ratio, my working capital. Anything in here that's highlighted happens to be a calculation. So I can take that off as well. So again, you can look at your sales, inventory, purchasing, and financial statements as well. So this isn't just a tool to make sales better. It's a great tool for making sales better. This is a way to look at financial statements a little bit differently as well. So I think about firms that are owned by private equity. They ask the same questions every single month, and you've got to provide reports to them every single month. Why not create a dashboard for the private equity team? Give them the ability to drill down and answer the questions that you're usually spending time on. We've got a customer that brings their computer into board meetings. So in a board meeting, if somebody has any questions, rather than calling Judy down the hall to ask her a question, or calling Bob down in the warehouse and asking him for a question, they simply open up their computer and they show focus, and they can get that unemotional answer to their question. So with that, I hope you see that you can get results with your data. This is a solution for manufacturing, distribution, for retail. That is, again, here's my play on words, focused on company-wide benefits. It's easy to use. You can drill down to that underlying data. You've got a fast return on investment, and we've got industry-specific KPIs available to you. Focus itself has over a 96% retention rate worldwide of users. So with that, I know we've only got a few minutes left. I want to open this up for questions.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Christine. I'm going to go ahead and check those questions now for you and see what we got here. Looks like I see a couple in the queue. The first one's asking, can you take data from multiple systems? For example, if they were like a fax user and using like Infor CRM or something like that as well?
Oh, that's a great question. And we've touched on that a couple times. You are not bound to having just Infor data. You could have in any data whatsoever. It could be an Excel spreadsheet sitting on a server that somebody updates every day. Focus can actually look at that and pull that in as well.
Perfect. The next question I see in the queue here is asking, how frequently is the data updated?
My answer to most things is depends. So on the financial reporting side, that obviously needs to be updated pretty frequently, because you don't want to put in a journal entry and wait for tomorrow to see what those financial statements look like. So you can have the financial statements update much more frequently, but typically everything else we update every single night. That doesn't necessarily have to be real time, but you could certainly have different things update at different times.
Awesome. The last question I see in the queue here, I think you just covered here a little bit ago, and talking about those dashboards that you were able to send reports to. So the question was, I need to share reports with many different teams. Is there a way to simplify this with Focus? So did you want to touch on that a little bit more?
Absolutely. So you've got the opportunity to share an external link with people outside of your organization. Again, they can't drill down into the details of it. You can embed a dashboard into a PowerPoint presentation. So think of board books. You've got the ability to do that, but you can also share dashboards with people within your organization that have access to Focus as well.
Awesome. Next question here is asking, is the matrix similar to what was called the cube in Cognos reporting? I'm not sure if you're similarly notes that. So
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
okay. So we'll get a answer for you, Larry. Hi, by the way, Larry. It's been a long time since I got to talk to you, but I'll make sure somebody gets an answer for you, okay? Awesome. Don't see any other questions in the queue at this time. If anybody does have any other questions, feel free to put them in the queue. I'll make sure that they get answered. They are recorded, so no worries on that. Let me go ahead and check it one last time here, since I know we're right at time. Perfect. All right. So it looks like all the questions I see at this point, I'm going to go ahead and advance the slides. So if you do have any further questions, though, you can go ahead and direct those to me as well. So my contact information is up there on the screen for you. So my email address is jgater, spelled JGATER, at Aktion with the K, spelled AKTION.com. Feel free to send me that email if you have any questions about today's session. Your sales rep is going to be following up with you from Aktion today as well. So they'll make sure that you get all the information that you need to get focused in with focus, as she said earlier, right? So we really do appreciate your time, though, today. And I do want to ask final remarks for both Rob and Christine at this point.
I'll let Rob go first.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It was very informative. Christine did a great job. Thank you. And we look forward to connecting more with each of you on an individual basis so we can really show you how this solution can leverage your ERP. And again, let's turn that data into more useful information. So thank you.
And thank you, Aktion. We appreciate your partnership and the ability to present the Focus solution to your customers. Again, we look forward to working with all of you, and thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your days. Take care.
Take care.